Hello Capricorn, welcome to the Black-Hearted Oracle. Before we get started, I'd like to give homage and reverence to Mother Sustainer, Father Creator, and of course, my beautiful ancestors. Now, what you see laid before you is a reading that I was guided to do. It's a 4-part series, and the parts are dealing with self-love, soul guidance, obstacles to walking your path, and finances. The first one that you see before you is dealing with self-love. Okay, let's get started. The first message you have comes from the Abundance Angel deck, and it says, take divinely guided change. All positive change and successful ventures include a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. The second message is donations, tithing, and charitable work. Give joyfully to the organizations and people who spiritually support and inspire you. And know that your generosity will be returned to you many-fold in miraculous ways. The time, supplies, money, and other resources you donate will ensure that your positive energy multiplies. You also received 2 messages from the Sacred Vision deck. Oh, goodness. The first one is 3, Harmony, and it's music, the creation. And it says, sounds such as the Big Bang is simply the movement of air, equivalent to breathing, an act of giving life, creation, a handmade flute, a rattle with crystals, and a sacred pipe and drum, nature's voice expressed through human instruments. Music rings the bells in your heart. It opens you to movement and joy. You are in a transformation through creativity. Find the secret of meditation and inner harmony by being in the alert stillness. The second one, it's focus, number 7. The tents are rocking. Life is a divine dance to the music we hear and make. Fast, erratic drum beats segue to soothing, erotic darkness with bells. Stop and listen to the music, not of the car, not of the ear, but of the heart. And practice of the true musician. How does your heart describe you as its host? Are you a true dreamer whose light shines through the weavings of existence? Or are you a magnificent wild horse tethered to a merry-go-round? Be your heart and let it tell you who you are. Waves of music linger in echoes around you. Mount your wild horse and gallop from your heart through your arms and fingers beyond all tethers into the freedom of creation. Heed the eagle's call of the wild. The next card comes from the Chakra Oracle deck, and it's Victim. It says, to grow into a tree, a planted acorn must be fully brown. A green acorn is an indication that you may need grounding and a more solid plan to achieve what you truly desire. Are you trying to create something before you are ready to do so? Feeling blocked, blaming others, past resentment, deluding yourself, potential for greatness, growth, breakthrough, and empowerment. See yourself sitting in a cinema. As the movie begins, you watch a scene from your life about a dream that never came true. Maybe you wanted a promotion, a new house, a relationship, something you were promised that did not come to pass. Allow yourself to feel the disappointment again. Now rewrite the scene. How does your fable end? The next card is insecurity. Energy turned within can lead to fear and stagnation. Courage is necessary if you are to be fearless and move forward. This is a message to grow up inside, into a greater energy, and to invoke courage from the angels to progress. Do I listen to my fear? How can I tap into my courage? Being courageous, facing adversity, finding tremendous power within undervaluing your contribution. Freedom, bravery, success. From a place of peace, call upon 2 or 3 of your spiritual protectors. When they appear, express your fear. Allow your protectors to give you strength and assist you in becoming greater than your fears. How do you feel now? The next set of messages comes from the Animal Medicine deck. And this is number 46, Raccoon. And it says, eat more fruits and veggies, wear a mask as needed, put to sleep what does not work, transform yourself, dexterity and disguise, use a life behind the mask. And this is number 49, Salmon. And it says, philosophical thinking, workaholic, very productive, domestic delight, a magnificent life. Persistent and determined, self-direction, single-minded, ebb and flow, knowingness, studying, return to roots, gift of prophecy. The next message comes to you from the Shadow Oracle deck, Shadow and Light Oracle deck. And it's Shallow Grave. You miss someone. This beautiful young woman is missing someone deeply, and she knows perhaps for the first time what it is to lose someone. Missing someone can be very hard. It feels like a physical ache, and our hearts can indeed be broken. We love, and we love so deeply that love can continue even when the form we have loved is no longer with us. Acknowledge just how deeply you have yearned for someone's return, and how much that person's loss has affected you. There is a deep sadness here, and it cannot be eased by denying its presence. Be truthful with yourself and that your sadness will change and be part of your life's beauty, not its pain. It is time to let something go. Before you do, let's take a moment to acknowledge what this was to you. Know that this meant so much. By returning it to the past rather than yearning for it in the present, you are creating a future that has a greater freedom to it. Opportunities for fresh starts. Every day, in a sense, gives you a clean slate. Starting over is immensely important after you have grieved. Something has been laid to rest and will no longer trespass on your present. You will blossom and grow with fresh relationships and love after mourning this lost one. Sentimentally, holding on to the past, idealizing the past, refusing, not allowing yourself to get over a breakup with a friend, a move to a new town, faded romance, parents who have divorced, something you are convinced that you must have back in order to be happy again. Mourning for what was, what you feel should have been. Very deep sadness. This experience has been of great value. It is time to move on, to place all that to rest. You may wish to plant a memory tree to commemorate your lost love. As it grows and changes, you will heal, and the memories will be sweet and sad, without bitterness and pain. It is time for you to stop hanging on so sadly to that which has long passed. Mourn and then come back to us, ready to live again. Wow. You received 2 messages from the Black-Hearted Oracle deck. The first one is number 43, which boils down to a 7. And it says, is it a present or just a piece of shit in pretty wrapping? Oh my, someone has just gotten a gift. Oh my, how beautiful it's wrapped. With all those shiny things and that big pretty bow. But wait, what's that smell? Sometimes people will give things to you that at first glance appear to be just what you have always wanted. But under the surface lays the most disgusting of intentions. Be careful not to be fooled by appearances. Look deeper. Trust your intuition. Yup, that signal in your gut. All is not what it seems. Some things need to be returned to sender. The next message is 16. Are you patiently letting your life slip by? And it says, many of us have placed our lives on hold, telling ourselves that if this thing or that thing could, would, should happen, then we are really going to start living the life we've always wanted to. Unfortunately, many of us are met with the grave before any of those shoulda, coulda, wouldas come to be. Because that train of thought is highly flawed and backwards. Our lives are short, and to fully make the best of it and get the best out of it, we must live our best life now. Today, right in the place our life finds us in. Our time is the most precious thing we have aside from our health. Don't squander it, because I guarantee that the regret at the end of days will be the most heartfelt in your life, if we choose to let our life just slip by. Wow, Capricorn, you're getting some really powerful messages. The next one we have is autumn, and it says, in the fall season, everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvests of abundance. Spiritual teacher, it says, your life purpose involves teaching others about healing and spirituality. I don't even know where to begin with this reading. Let me stop, okay? But, okay, I would like to point out how many times 7 has come up in your reading, right? Because you have 16, which boils down to a 7. You have 43, which boils down to a 7. And you have 7 right here. So to me, that, as I always say, I always associate the number 7 with Sagittarius. I have my own personal reasons. But it is, to me, a spiritual number. But this reading is saying that you have come to a point where you're letting go of something or someone. It has you feeling like a victim and feeling a little insecure, blocking off your heart chakra. And reds are very prominent within the cards that are laid before you. I mean, if you think about it, we're in autumn because we haven't really touched winter yet, even though we're very close to it. So if you take the divinely guided change now, you know, and refocus your mind through charity. And this card speaks of using the life behind the mask, the raccoon, which is like fake it till you make it. You know, put the smile on your face when you go out. If you want to cry when you're at home, cry when you're at home. But when you go out, put the smile on your face because it makes a difference. If your head is bowed and you're looking down and you're not smiling, those energies of grief become so much harder to get over. And twice you see that music was mentioned here for you. So if you're in a time of deep sadness that someone has caused because they presented whatever offer they were giving to you as a pretty package, but really it was a piece of shit in pretty wrappings, give it back to them. Those bad feelings are not yours to carry. And then this, is take the divinely guided change and do the work. And if you have any inclinations of becoming a spiritual teacher, if you're new to it, then I would suggest you do the research. But you're going to have to ground these insecurities and this victimhood in order to excel to this. Because we, as spiritual teachers, most of us, we get really broken, shattered, and then we put ourselves back together with the help of spirit. And then through those lessons that we've learned, we're able to share from our experiences and wisdom that we've gained along our journey. And you have to go with the ebbs and flows of life, because life is not always a means of abundance. Sometimes, just like here, representing the ebbs and flows. Sometimes we're in winter and then sometimes we're in spring. But this is telling you that in autumn, whether it's autumn 2020 or this autumn that we're in currently, that you're going to be reaping abundant if you can take the divinely guided change and focus your mind, to be very productive and find domestic delight and a magnificent life through philosophical thinking. Okay, let's get to the second portion of your reading. The second portion of your reading, I received the Queen of Air. Independent, experienced, realistic, witty, objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humor in a situation. Well, you received two messages from here, actually. And what we received was Well, this is how it came out. And I didn't bother to clarify because of how they laid themselves out. So at first glance, I was saying, how could this be the two decisions that you're thinking about? But then, because this card can also represent wish fulfillment, but I don't think it's representing wish fulfillment here. What I think this is representing is overindulgence. So are you using whatever means to feel wish fulfillment because of the shallow grave that you find your emotions in, and the heaviness of feeling like a victim and feeling insecure because of someone's lack of care for your heart? Remember to use these things as fuel if you're interested into becoming a spiritual teacher. But so this is saying that, she cuts it out because she's been through it. She's been here many, many times over. And she finally gets it that I could stay here in this valley of indecision where I'm overindulging, but really what I want is healing and a happy home, and to move my emotions to a calmer time frame in my life. And the second message was the Emperor. and it's Archangel Michael, and it's organization and logic, structure and discipline and leadership. And this is the Knight of Wands. Again, the wounded warrior, as she is. But in order for the Queen of Air to excel into the Emperor and receive the Ten of Cups, the healing that she needs, and to be living in a calmer space, that last wand, the last bit of strength emotionally that you have, you're going to have to rise up and stand. Because if you notice, he as well is holding a staff. And the Queen of Swords is always pictured with the sword. Right? He has his sword of truth that is not too far from him, but what he is holding onto is his staff. And if you notice, he also has a musical instrument. Because through music, he can refocus his energies and find the harmony that's needed to move on from this wounded warrior stage and elevate himself to an emperor. The next message, well, you received two. You received a lot of messages. Was energy healing, energy field adjustment, aura cleansing, and health. And we received the World in 20, and Judgment, which again, the 3, just boils down to a 3. And so what is going to happen when you can do this energy field adjustment and cleanse your aura of this darkness that has been plaguing you, is you're going to find harmony. And by making a judgment call and refocusing your energy and being as the raccoon and transforming yourself and put to sleep what doesn't work anymore, so you can move to calmer waters and begin the healing process. We also received for you Soul Cage, rescue, escape from captivity and restriction. And we received the 7 of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. So being that this reading is about self-love, you're going to be rescued from these energies. And you're going to apologize to yourself for even allowing yourself to go so deep into the darkness of your soul, which is a necessary at certain points of our life. At some points in our life, we get so deep down into the trenches of our soul that the only person who can bring us out of this is our higher self. I mean, look how this looks. If you look, right? It's like these are the lower energies. And when he's brought back up to the surface, he has his cup. And his spirit is renewed because a judgment call and a new cycle has begun of healing. Again, of healing. The next messages we have come from the Romance Angel. And as I said, you received a lot of messages. This is codependency. It says addictions are a factor, are affecting your romantic life. And we have the Page of Swords, the 5 of Cups, and the 3 of Cups. So if you're energetically still tied to someone, you know, through this shallow grave, that has you in the Nine of Swords, unable to rest. I mean, this looks like a low, slow sadness. Like, are you energetically keeping yourself tied by checking out someone's social media? And it's keeping you in this crying over spilled milk because of a third-party situation. If you are, it is time to put that to rest for the sake of your own self-love. And allow your higher self to rescue yourself from this soul cage. And bring you back to this glorious energy field adjustment to where your solar plexus chakra is popping, your third eye is popping. The next message we received was let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. And what we had was the Eight of Cups. So, as it was saying, instead of spying and resulting into crying over spilled milk, walk away from this emotional turmoil. Go seek that ninth cup. Because remember, you did have the Nine of Cups, but in that spread, it had dealt with overindulgence. But in this one, if you're walking away looking for your self-love cup, it'll bring wish fulfillment. And no longer will you be crying over the spilled milk of these 5 cups because of a third-party situation. Last message that we have for you is let your friends help you. It says ask for and accept support from others. I received the 3 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 4 of Wands. Sorry. So what this is saying is when we're going through emotional turmoil, of feeling the 5 of Cups energies, of crying over spilt milk, you know, heavily stuck in our head because of someone's deception, with our friends we can find healing. You know, we can hang out a little bit and get our mind off of these hurts. And maybe they can help you with work as well. You know, maybe you guys can put together and think about a business to start or something. Or even studying together new subjects that pique your interests. Because if you're going to get over the heartbreak, you're going to need to put your mind to other things. Think about this opportunity. Think about this substantial offer that someone is coming. It might be slow to build, but what it will result in is stability. A happy home, you know. Well, Capricorn, I thank you for coming to the Black-Hearted Oracle. I hope this message finds you well. I pray that you find your higher self in the quiet places and that Ma'at will hold you in her loving grace. Ashe.